Don Pinsent today.
Hey Don, how's it going?
There we go. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am well.
Good, good.
Trying to get my stuff out here. Okay.
Sometimes these meetings we start a little later and it's funny. Almost every single time I do one of these, uh I forget or somebody else forgets, and then we all just manage to make it work in the end. So I wanted to ask you right off the bat. I think this is kind of the first question I always ask, but how long have you been doing caricatures for?
Professionally, 29 years now.
Oh,
I
wow.
practiced it another probably 10, 11, 12 years before that. But yeah,
Wow.
officially started hiring myself out for events and stuff 29 years ago.
29 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, I mean, how has your style changed from the beginning to now?
Oh, man, so much. I've been pushing myself to stretch my exaggerations further. Like I, for a long time, I was pretty well able to get some good exaggeration in studio work when I had time to sketch out and erase and start over and whatever. But just in the last couple of years, I'm finding finally able to get that same level of exaggeration in my live work, and so that's been really exciting. But
Wow.
I think early on, when I first started doing them, my caricatures were more influenced by like Mad Magazine sort of style. Those were the guys who originally made me want to start drawing caricatures were Mort Drucker and Jack Davis, especially.
Oh yeah.
And so I was kind of copying them a lot. But over the years, I've uh, tried to get more into exaggerations and more realistic renderings and stuff, influenced by Sebastian Kruger a lot. And so, yeah, there's been a big change in my drawing style since then.
Have you I found out about you through ISCA. Have you attended ISCA events?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I attended my first one in 2015, and I've been to almost every one since. I've missed one
Wow.
since then. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm currently serving on the board of directors of the International Society of Caricature Artists, and so I'm involved in organizing these events and stuff now. So yeah,
Well, wow. Congratulations.
thank you. It, it
I'm sure that's a lot of work and responsibility.
it can be a lot of work. It can also be fun, but yeah, at times it feels like the work fun balance kind of goes like.
What are some of your favorite events to draw caricatures at, if you had to pick?
Huh. Um, my favorite thing I think is I do during the summers most of the time I do caricatures at the local waterfront, and
Wow.
every year we have a busker festival, and for 6 days I think it is. There's street performers and everything from all over the world come to Halifax. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, by the way, and it's there's like a constant party atmosphere for like 12 hours a day, and I just sit and draw people all day long, and I find that's like one of the highlights of my years. that fun atmosphere where I just get to draw and collect people's money for it.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Do you just serve the Halifax or Nova Scotia area, or do you travel out?
Mostly, I do. I have done gigs in Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick and stuff from time to time, when people
Okay.
are willing to kick in the little extra money to get me there. Um, I'm in a fortunate position here, in that there aren't a lot of caricaturists in maritime Canada. So if someone's really keen on getting a caricaturist at their event, chances are they're getting me. There are a couple of others in the area. They don't really advertise very actively or
Hmm.
pursue it as fervently as I do. So yeah, I tend to kind of dominate the caricature gigs in maritime Canada.
You mentioned earlier your mad influence, and I was
Hmm.
also kind of curious, what is it about caricature do you think that's made you want to stick with it all this time? And do you do any other kinds of work like illustration or anything?
I have. I mean, I've been drawing ever since I was a little kid, like 3 years old, and grew up just fascinated with just cartoons. All I
Hmm.
wanted to do was create my own cartoon characters, and it wasn't until I started reading Mad as a teenager that I started really honing in on caricature. I really picked up on that, and I have since. I'm trained as an animator,
Oh, wow.
so that's was my full-time career for a very long time, and it's only in the last year or so that I've started just telling people, rather than telling people I'm an animator who does caricatures on the side, now I tell people I'm a caricaturist, because it really is, it's more than a thing that I do for money. It's my passion. It's what I love doing, and so I I feel justified saying, even if it's not my main source of income, I feel justified saying I'm a caricaturist because it's what I am inside. But that's not even the question you asked.
And that's all right, because that was a great answer anyway.
All right, good.
Well, you were doing animation, but
Yeah,
you're a caricaturist
I am. I am a caricaturist at
at
heart.
heart. That's yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what it's about, is that passion.
yeah.
I Another thing I wanted to ask, and I don't know if you're set up to do it or not, but would you be interested in or willing to share some of your work with us? Are you able to do that on your end? I think it.
I believe I could do that. Um, what I do, I mean, the difference between, I think, a caricaturist who does it because it's a job, a source of money, and a caricaturist who is passionate about it is that when I'm drawing just for the fun of drawing, it's still usually caricatures. And so I have, I think I can move this here to show you up on the walls of my office. I
Oh,
have
excellent.
some of my work uh, displayed here. Let's see if I can. So there's my
Hey.
X Files. I can angle the camera so the light's not glaring off of it. It's my X Files caricature. Uh, my Tom Petty.
Wow.
I did that one just a couple of years ago. Over here is my Seinfeld.
Oh, nice Seinfeld here.
My favorite pieces are the ones that get a space on my wall. There's
A Yoda caricature. Wow.
and Weird Al Yankovic. And then up here is the Beatles. Am I getting that in camera? Here we go.
Yeah, we can see him.
All right. But my proudest achievement in my caricature life is this. I don't know how much of it I can get on camera here. It's collage of, I call it icons of rock. There's
Wow.
141 very famous rock stars all together in one composition, and I finished that in 2019, and it's still my personal favorite of all my pieces.
What what kind of materials do you use to produce caricatures?
Mostly I'm a colored pencil guy. All those
Oh
full
wow.
color ones I just showed you are colored pencil. But in the last number of years now, I guess I've also gotten into digital. I've started with sketchbook predominantly, but in the last couple of years since I got an iPad, I've picked up on Procreate and really enjoy that.
Oh nice.
Yeah.
Well, even with the colored pencil work, I mean, the color is so smooth. Um,
Thank you. I discovered there was a friend of mine way back in high school who used to draw with colored pencils, and I never really thought of colored pencils as being something that you could do that kind of detail with. And, that I always thought of them as just something that you use in school to color maps. And yeah, once I got myself a box of Prismacolor Premier pencils, I started finding that you can really blend colors nicely and just give a really nice, vibrant life to it.
wow. Yeah, it's very nice. I would have never guessed just looking at them from what you showed me that they were colored pencil works.
No, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I really love using them.
How about for your line work? Are you using markers?
For my live work, yeah, it's just permanent marker. I for a long time because I started way back in 1996 when I started doing them. I was using the Dixon Marquette markers, which were
mm,
very popular among caricaturists.
classic. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had this really nice. The tip would bend a little when you use
Mm,
them rather than mashing down the way a Sharpie does. It would
yeah.
bend to get this nice like paintbrush kind of shape, so you could get nice thick and thin lines. Dixon stopped making the Marquette several years ago, and so for years I was just drawing with Sharpies, and I hated them
Oh boy.
because they would just mash down to a nub, and you couldn't get the thick and thin. But just in the last couple of years, I discovered I have one right here, the touch marker from what's the name of the company? Very
Thinner.
popular marker company, and now I'm blanking on the name. Copic, the Copic touch
Oh,
marker,
Copic. Oh, okay, okay.
which have a really nice paintbrush tip on that end, with
Yeah.
coupled with the chisel tip on the other end. And I was always kind of afraid of paint markers, paintbrush tip markers before, because I found them the one time I had tried to use them, I found them really hard to control. But
Yes.
when I got so sick of Sharpies, I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to try it. And I found that, yeah, I was actually able to get really nice flow with them. And I've been using a lot in the last couple of years, a knockoff that Desserres makes, the Canadian art supply store made their own knockoffs, and I was using those, but realized that, I mean, I was using them because they're not much more than half the price of the Copics. But then I discovered that I was running through them a lot faster, so it wasn't really
Oh, yeah.
the price difference. So now I'm as often as I can get them, as often as they're in stock at my art supply store, I'll use the Copic touch markers.
Well, that's great. I that you learned the Copic. A lot of people they struggle with that tip and they just
Yeah,
can't get past.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, the first time I tried it, I I couldn't get the hang of it, and so
Yeah.
I stopped trying for the longest time.
Did you ever did you ever go and try those Crayolas? I know a lot of caricaturists these days swear by those Crayolas.
I have tried them, and it does get a good. You do have a good control and a good firm tip. on them. My only problem with them is the watercolor or the water-based ink.
Yeah.
And it fades too fast, and I know you can replace the ink in them, but it's so much work. I just can't be bothered.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of artists will buy the Crayolas, drain the ink out of them, and replace them with a more permanent ink. But it is a lot of effort to go to. So yeah,
At the end of the day, sometimes I just kind of wish they'd bring the Marquette back.
I know. I really did. They did a few years ago. They announced the big return of the Marquette, but it was a totally different nib, and no one,
Oh,
all the caricaturists were so disappointed.
wow.
Yeah, I think they've phased him out again now.
For a little bit, I was playing around with those chart pack ad markers, and I like them, but they smell so bad and are
Uh,
toxic.
yeah, they are very strong.
Yeah. Uh, if you and another thing I was going to ask you,
Hmm.
if you're set up for it, if we sent you an image to do a live caricature with us tonight, would
Yeah.
you be able to do
Yeah.
that?
Yep. I got some paper and markers right here.
Excellent. Uh, all right. Would it be all right if I sent it through the chat here in Zoom or?
That should work. I
All right.
think.
Let me see if I can find a nice
using
photo.
using the iPad for the interview, and my computer screen is right here in front of me. So
Oh,
we have both open at the same time.
let me see here. All right, I've sent it through.
Okay, hold on a second here. I'm gonna set this up the same way I do at a live event.
Oh, nice. Do you ever caricature pets, people's pets?
I do, yeah, yeah.
I,
I've
I've
even
talked to some caricature artists who really love those events, but it seems to me like it would be hard to caricature a dog or a
it.
cat.
It's very challenging. I kind of first I got an event once. I got hired to do caricatures at an all dog event. That was all I was doing, dogs. And I thought, yeah, how hard can it be? And I accepted it. And when I got there, I realized, wow, drawing dogs is a completely different skill from drawing human faces. And so I realized I had a lot of practice to do in that area. But yeah, I have practice. I think I've gotten better at it. Typically, what I do in a live situation lately is I will, with the owner's permission, I'll take pictures of the dog
Oh
because
yeah.
dogs do not sit still very well.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I find it easier to do that way.
What is the fastest you've ever done a caricature,
Uh,
you
huh,
think? Assuming you
I
know.
don't recall. We have at the ISCA con every year. One of the events is a speed competition, and I know during one of those I did. It was only I think a 15-minute heat, and I did 7 or 8 caricatures, which is not
Wow.
super fast. I know there are a lot of artists who are a lot faster than that, but for me it was. I think that was the most I had ever done in that short of time, so I was pretty happy with it.
Nice. ISCA has all kinds of events. I'm always kind of fascinated by that.
Yeah, it's one of, like I said, one of the highlights of my year, and I love the chance to get together with other people who understand my obsession with caricature, and just I described it to people before as like mostly just a whole bunch of caricaturists sitting in a big room together drawing each other. And I don't know if that sounds exciting to other people, but for me, it's, oh, really? For
It's
3 days, you just sit and draw each other? Awesome.
it's funny because I mean that's really the best way you can put it. And if you get it, that's like
Yeah,
one of the most
right.
amazing things that could possibly ever happen.
Yeah. I love getting myself drawn almost as much as I love drawing other people. Always fascinating to me to see how different artists interpret the same face, and
That's one of
they'll
the
all look like the person they're drawing, but they're all so different from each other.
that's one of the secrets of this interview show is that I secretly just enjoy having my caricature done by a bunch of different artists. It's a great excuse. I mean, everything else is icing on the cake.
I have this whole philosophy on the art of caricature. I could go on about this for hours, so stop me if I'm going on too long about it. But I think that there's a very common misunderstanding about the art of caricature where people think that it's all about insulting people.
Yeah.
They'll call them insulting drawings, or they'll, I overhear people all the time, even while they're laughing at what I'm doing, saying, "Oh, you really did him dirty," or whatever. And no, you're missing the point. It's not an insult at all. That's not the point. The point is that I'm taking the things that make you unique and amplifying them.
Yes.
And like I often overhear people say they don't want to get their caricature drawn because they don't want their flaws accentuated. And I hear that word flaws a lot, and it really eats at me. The idea that we live in this world where people think that if their faces deviate in any way from this imagined normal face that they have in their minds, that means there's something wrong with them. And
Exactly.
it's such an awful self-destructive way to think of yourself.
I believe that too. I think that caricature, I mean, I guess it's all a matter of perspective, but to me, caricature is a celebration of every individual's unique physical
Exactly.
characteristics.
Yeah, exactly. We all have them. We all have things that make
Yes,
our faces different from everyone else's, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be able to tell each other apart.
yeah, it's true.
And so to think of those things as flaws is just, oh, it's just so wrong. It bothers me that we live in a world where where people see themselves that way.
Caricature has an opportunity to be a place where people can confront that truth.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
another reason I find it important.
right. Yeah. If you are struggling with your self image and you think that there is something wrong with you because you have a big nose or wide set eyes or crooked or whatever, a good way to confront that would be get your character done and just, you know, embrace it.
Embrace it and laugh.
Yeah, yeah. Accept that it is a part of you. All right. Ready for the big reveal?
Oh boy. Well, that was fast. I can only say bravo, bravo to this one. Wow.
Thank you. And given more time to plan it out and everything, if this were a studio piece rather than a live caricature, I probably would have pushed the exaggerations further and so on. But yeah,
Wow.
I can scan that and send you a copy of it.
Well, I'd love that. And
All
thank you
right.
so much for for sitting with us and doing that caricature.
Oh, no
Now, I
problem.
mean, you kind of got me hooked on this philosophy of caricature. If you'd like to expound further on it, I mean, I've got some time tonight.
All right. um, I I think like, one of the reasons that I continue to exaggerate in my caricatures, because I mean there is a certain mindset, and it is in a way a logical one that you should flatter people. They'll like it more if you flatter them.
Hmm.
And okay, maybe that's true in a way, but I don't see that as being my job. If I'm flattering someone with my caricature, what I'm doing in the way I see it, what I'm doing is I'm assuming that they feel bad about having a big nose or whatever, and that's more insulting, if you ask me, than just drawing it the way I see it.
Like you're trying to fix them or something.
Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, I can tell there's something wrong with you. I bet you're sensitive about that. I'll just tone that down. That's
Yeah,
insulting, if you ask me.
yeah. It's insulting and pandering.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want people to continue to think that there is something wrong with them. And so I will try to celebrate it and show it to them and say, this is you. It and there's nothing wrong with it. I have a big forehead. I have a big nose. I have not much of a chin going on here, and that's fine. It's all just part of who I am, and it's yeah. It's not. I'm sure that there are caricaturists whose intention is to insult, and especially political cartoonists. I'm
I
sure
was about to say those are the
no
first ones that
compunction.
come to mind.
Yeah, about making the subject feel bad about their physical attribute, but that's not inherently what caricature is about. It's not what it is. It's really just a way to call attention to those unique things in a way that you know gives you a little laugh.
That's exactly right, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
If
think
I could have any part in changing people's minds about the way they look at themselves, if I could get people looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, the way I keep wording it is, your individuality is not a flaw. If I can get people to look in the mirror and tell themselves my individuality is not a flaw, and keep repeating that to themselves until they believe it, then I would feel really good about that.
that's great? It reminds me of another quote I think I heard a caricature artist say once that ugliness is not a physical characteristic, it's a personality trait or something like that. Or it's
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
I forget who said that, but yeah, that stuck with
yeah.
me too.
There's also this common misconception that uh, being good looking automatically makes you hard to caricature,
Hmm.
or being ugly automatically makes you easy to caricature. It's got nothing to do with being attractive or unattractive. My approach to it, because there are a lot of caricaturists, especially when they're first starting to learn, will say they have a hard time drawing good looking people. And my approach to it, my advice to people when they say that is, forget about it. Put attractiveness out of your mind. It's got nothing to do with drawing an attractive person. You're not drawing a good looking person. You're not drawing an ugly person. You're not drawing a black or white or any other race of person. You're not drawing a man or a woman. You're not drawing, you know, you're just drawing a face. Look at the face that is in front of you and draw what you see. Don't worry about making it attractive. Find those
That's good.
individual features and focus on them.
I think of the only kind of person I could imagine being difficult to caricature is somebody who would have a face, and it's hard to even imagine this kind of a face, but a face where there are no standout features. And yet I don't
Yeah,
know that I've ever seen a face like
I
this.
very seldom come across faces like that. The one that stands out the most in my mind is young William Shatner. If there
Yeah.
is a normal face, just an average face in the world, it's a young William Shatner, because I still have never been able to successfully caricature that guy, because I have a hard time picking out anything on that face to play with.
Thankfully, he aged, and now you have.
Yes. Now his face is great for a caricature. Back in the days of Star Trek, the original series, oh yeah, it was rough trying to find anything to do with that face.
Yeah. At least Spock had the years and the haircut.
Easier face to work with.
Oh wow. So, uh, gosh, that might be the best note to end on, I guess, for this evening.
There.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Don. And
No problem.
I did have one last question for you, of course.
Okay.
Is anyone wanting to find you and get their characters done, where would be the best places to find you?
You can find me on Facebook by just searching for Caricatures by Don. That's the name of my business, Caricatures by Don.
Caricatures by
Instagram
Don.
name is at Caricatures by Don. My website is caricaturesbydon.com. And if I may also say, I have a few books that I have self-published on the self-publishing site lulu.com. If you go there and search for Don Pinsent, you'll find them.
Excellent. You want to tell us a little bit about the books you got?
Yeah, my first was just a little humor book I put together called Dear Olive Hollywood, which was just a series of helpful letters written to Hollywood producers and directors to help them get things right that they repeatedly get wrong.
Oh, wow.
It was a very short book with some of my caricature illustrations thrown in. But then after that, I've put out a few books of just my caricature work, my celebrity work, like the ones I showed you here.
Yeah.
First one was called Look What I Did. And my second one was Icons of Rock, the book, which is just all of those faces that I showed you on the Icons of Rock collage, each one in its own individual page. And then the third one I just put out last year is called Pretty Sketchy, which is just a collection of my looser, rougher sketches. And
Nice.
currently in the works, putting together a fourth book as well.
Oh, excellent. Any time frame on when that might get released?
I don't know, because I only do it when I work on it a little bit when I have extra time. So my original thought was I would be able to have it done this year, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Maybe
next year then.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Thank you again so much for being here tonight. It was a lot of fun talking to you. Thanks for the caricature.
Yeah, no problem. I'll scan that and send it off to you.
I appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, you too.
Talk to you later, Don.
Yeah.